Rock bottom. The objective definition of rock bottom, being at the lowest level possible. Being a Diamond 2 peak, I know very well that I am not a plat player. Okay, maybe that one time.
Let's see the bomb now getting planted by Lendoth here, and he is not going to be able to really connect it as that fade. Clean able, pushing away. We do have one on the flank. It's going to be Obi. The nice teleport, buddy. Luckily, it gets the trade.
Actually, come to think of it, yeah, this time as well.
This was like completely on top, but now at the bottom of the leaderboard, it must just be a different map, different age, you know, and you know, man. What the hell?
But regardless, I've put way too many hours into this game, alright? I am not being plat. Now, where did this start? Let me take you back to July of 2022, where I made a vow to be a good player. I can promise to you, we're gonna be good at this game. But the question is, what does a good player look like? Is it Ye with his inhuman aim?
As I say that, what is that word?
Or maybe it's Durkentime with his icebox players.
Hey. Oh my god. Oh my god, they're all there, they're all there. They're all there and they're all his. Durka is just devious with it.
Let's take a look at what they all have in common. Consistency. If we take a look at VCT lock-in, DRX versus Cloud9, that ended awfully for Cloud9. However, I want to point your attention at Ye, specifically Haven and Icebox. No matter where this guy was or who he was playing, he was at the top of the leaderboard for Cloud9. That's the consistency we're looking for. Now, how do we achieve such a goal? Well, this video is going to show me, a hard-stuck college esports player, trying his best to get consistent. So without further ado, this is getting consistent with Lendoth. Mental. It's an important part of the game. Mental can really change the way you perform. Now, everyone is aware of the term tilting. This term originated from poker. Tilt in poker is when the player can no longer control their game by rational decision. It leads to a loss of control over the game, a loss of emotional regulation, higher cognitive distortion, and a loss of money. This is the same in Valorant if you get angry. Well, you will make rational decisions, such as peeking stupid angles, or saying things to your teammates which you don't mean, and it could really break the chemistry of a team. Now, this is where the cool part comes in. I think I'm gonna let him introduce himself to you. If you want to kind of like give yourself an introduction on like who you are and what you do.
So I'm Rob Davies. I am the head of performance for Team Heretics, where I work across their LEC, VCT, and LVP teams. And I'm also a performance coach for Adamus Esports. And basically what I do is I support the team in trying to get the best performance out of the guys.
So now you know who Rob Davies is, the absolute GOAT himself. I asked him a few questions about tilting. This is what he had to say. Obviously, it's a massive problem, and I don't think it happens very often now. Like, have you ever seen the guys tilt when you've like trained with them before? Like, are they very calm?
Yeah. Tilting is like emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is really, really important in sport and in esports. And again, it's something you can train. It's something that you can develop and become better at. Some of the guys are better at doing it and some guys aren't. And then that's what we kind of work on if somebody isn't. And then why do you tilt? Like, what's the triggers? And again, it all comes back to self-awareness. And then from self-awareness, we can start to build interventions and strategies to support with tilt. So it comes down to like, let's take the always playing to win example for you. Like, so you play your first game and like you're playing really well, but your teammates aren't playing very well, and then you lose. And then you're like, oh, just guys, this team, like, this is tragic. And then you play again, and the same thing happens, and then you hit the desk, and you're like, oh, everyone I play with is really, really bad. But again, like, when we look at it, what was the trigger? It was something you can't control. It was your teammates. So you can't really control how they're playing. You can't control their skill level. You can influence and support them and be like, maybe it's better if we rotate back to A, and then you can win that way. So you can influence and help and advise. But the trigger for the tilt there is the need to win against like an uncontrollable, the skill level of your teammates. So instead of thinking kind of, then you can start to reframe this and be like, actually, I played really, really well. I hit 52% headshot rate. I was 22-6 and like 10 assists or something like that. And now suddenly you can break this down into like, okay, my performance was actually really, really good. It's sport, so I can't always win. It's impossible to always win, otherwise who lifts up the trophy? Like, at the end of the day in a season, only one team finishes on a win. Every other team will finish on a loss. So it's understanding where that tilt and that trigger for that tilt is, building self-awareness around that, and then implementing strategies for it.
With this amazing advice from Rob, I immediately put it into work. I played with a more growth mindset. Now, what is that, you may ask? Well, instead of whining about the one-tap breach, I thought of different things I could have done to win the round. Now, concentration is a problem for me. I have ADHD, which in Valorant terms means sometimes I'm watching an angle, then completely forget about that angle and go do something else. I asked Rob about this, and this is what he had to say.
When I lose focus, I first of all have to be aware that I've lost focus, but then I can say to myself, like, breathe. And breathe is my mental cue to then do my physical cue, which is obviously to take a big deep breath in and breathe, and then I can refocus and do what I'm doing. So the first thing you can do kind of like when you're in game is if you've lost focus, give yourself a mental and a physical cue to regain focus. So a few kind of like what happens when you're in game.
So sometimes I'd be like holding an angle, and then I'd like completely forget I'm holding an angle, and I'd be thinking about something else, and then someone would swing me, and I'd be like, forgot I was doing that, and then I'd kind of cost around a bit, yeah.
So in the game, obviously, it's really hard because like Valorant is super, super fast. And when you hold an angle, and like if you said if two people come around, and like they two peek you, like you're pretty much fucked if you haven't got full focus. So in those moments, then it's really good to have self-awareness of what's happened, and also really good to just accept it and like acknowledge that that's happened. But what happens then is when you're kind of like, you know, waiting to come back into the buy phase, that's where you could really focus on a concentration cue. So you could say to yourself, you could like copy mine and be like, okay, breathe, just shut your eyes, take a big deep breath in through your nose, hold it for 4 seconds, and then breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds. And that's a really good way of refocusing.
So that was week 1 of the project. Now, at the end of this week, I managed to hit Diamond again. Now, I might be playing with a better mindset, but we still got a lot of aspects that we need to build on, such as aim. So for week 2, we decided to work on our aim. I also just want to thank Rob for taking the time to speak with me and actually help me. Rob, thank you very much. You can follow Rob, link in the description. His YouTube channel's just started, and you should totally go help him out. His Twitter is there, and he's got a lot of good threads about mental health. Thanks, Rob, again. You are the GOAT. Week 2 is about aim. Aim is an essential part of Valorant. As you know, the higher you climb, the better your aim gets. I would go as far as to say that aim is really what separates the rank. If we want that crisp yay aim, how do we get ourselves there? Now, it's no secret that there are aim trainers out there. The 2 biggest aim trainers are AimLab and Kovac. Now, there is no definite answer on which aim trainer is better. It's all preference.
Doing a college project, I need an opinion. AimLabs or Kovacs? AimLabs, probably.
For real, AimLabs or Kovacs or nothing? Oh, AimLabs does help. That's what I'm saying. And Kovacs does. Kovacs helps with tracking.
Hey, did you tell Lendoth that you don't aim prac and it shows in game?
Yeah, I told him I don't aim practice, but I'm still the best ranked player out there. The best ranked player out there.
So I went with Kovacs. Now, Kovacs does cost money, but I feel like there's a bigger emphasis on improvement. So how would we aim train? Every day I would do a 30-minute playlist before playing, which consists of tracking, flicking, speed, and accuracy. Did this help me improve? Well, within the first week, I did this.
On side.
Silence. My ultimate is still in sight.
GG.
Spike down B. One enemy remains.
So we've done a week of aim training and a week of not tilting. Let's see how calm I was during week 3. Now, week 3, it was just all about ranking up and seeing if I can put that into the game. So let's have a look how I did.
Here.
Timing of this was amazing. During week 4, my college esports team got VOD reviewed by a guy that my teacher knows. In this VOD review, it is from my POV, so the 3,000 words he wrote were about our team, but they were looking at my mistakes, and majority of it is just pointing out what I'm doing wrong. And the biggest thing he said there was positioning. So for week 4, I focused on positioning. The update improv on positioning, I decided to VOD review some pros on how they move around in game. And I can see here sometimes they'll just take ground and wait for the rotate, or they'll double up and work with their team. This could also bring in something huge, like a timing which if timed right, can catch everyone off guard. Boom! Positioning done! So, week 5. Like week 3, I wanted to have a week where I just focus on completing my goals. So I decided to focus on ranked, and it went very well. I managed to climb all the way to Diamond 3. This was it. The final stretch. Over the last month, I've been working hard to try and hit my goals. However, it took me the entire week to hit Diamond 3, so we're gonna go to week 6. For this week, I really decided to focus on my well-being and trying to get the right amount of sleep and exercise. I also asked Rob for some support on this.
So get however much sleep you need, be it like always try for 8 hours more, but you know, a 9-hour sleep cycle is really, really good. And then just work around that. Like what are the limits and what limits the well-being? It's just understanding it's kind of like planning and schedule. Do I want to play at this time? Like what will that do? Do I want to go out and see my friends? Do I want to just kick a rugby ball about for half an hour? Do I want to go to the gym? It's all balance. And it's all understanding what works best for you. Again, it's an individual need of what works best for you. But it's understanding that sleep is super important. So never try and sacrifice sleep unless you kind of go into a really, you know, you need to for a couple of days. But then if you do it more than a few days or a couple of nights, it will seriously impact you. And you need to overcompensate on sleep to recover.
After that, I focused more on trying to fix my health and game balance and actually get into a good routine. Within this week, I managed to have a lot more water. Now I drink more water than ever. So for the last 6 weeks, I've been working on all of my mechanical skills, such as positioning and aim. I also worked on things out of the game, such as mental and well-being. And what I'm looking at now is my rank up game. I need to remember everything I've learned and put it to the test. Let's see how it goes.
I'm building anything.
Nice. One enemy remaining.
Mid.
Thank
you, Big.
Nice. Good run. I can rest if I get planned.
I can't come in.
Spike down B.
Go on, one
nice.
more. 2 feet away.
For you.
Let's save it.
One enemy remaining.
Huge round.
Spike down.
Chamber.
B.
He's here.
Low.
Fire in the hole!
On mid.
Toxins going up. My ultimate is ready. There. Toxin screen down.
One enemy remaining.
No, I could have got the winning kill. Roger. Oh my god, we did it.
Nice.
Defender.
Let's go! That took quite a bit of time. Next one. What's next? After Ascendant?
So there you go, it was 7 weeks of hard work, but it was worth it. I just want to thank Rob Davies for all the support he gave during this video. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Rob. Links to his Twitter and YouTube are in the description. You need to go check them out as they have some amazing content on there. I want to thank you guys as well for watching all the way to the end. I'm not usually good with these very long-ish videos, so there's going to be a lot of debates, but if you do have some thoughts, please leave them in the comment section. I'll be sure to read them. If you guys are new here, please consider leaving a like, subscribe if you're new, it is completely free. I also stream on Twitch and have a Discord server, so go check those links in the description. So yeah, if there's nothing else, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. 07.